Hello folks, and welcome to the Action Figure-atorium. My name is Mark Major. I am, of course, a real big toy collector and a studio owner here in Southeast Portland. And as a real big toy collector, to have things constantly coming in, fresh new toys, you need to at some point kind of kick out the jam, so to speak, thin the herd, and give back to people some of my action figures and toys that I have in my collection to not only make space, not only make a little bit of money, but also to let other people get a chance at this stuff. And so today I'm doing a show that I call Catch and Release. This is where I go through 10 items that I am going to be putting up for sale on the eBay in either a buy it now or an auction. And some of this stuff is actually kind of cool. So everybody, you should all, strap on the leather and hold on tight. Now, there are essentially three things that I always start this segment off with. And the first thing is that if you're looking for my eBay account, it is CoolBots with a Z. Feel free to seek me out and follow me, and that way you'll get notifications when new items come up. The second thing is these are Dutch auctions. Dutch auctions mean, let's say I post it for $15 and you go, that's crazy, no one's going to pay that. Okay, give it a week, maybe 2 weeks, then it's $14. Pretty soon it's $13. Still too high, $12. What happens when it hits $11? Too high, $10? It's yours. And speaking of it's yours, the third thing is that if you end up purchasing something from me on the eBays, let me know in the transaction that you watch the show, and I will include for you, the viewer, a very, very special tchotchke. So let's get into our 10 items, and the first thing that we have up, this is actually an honorable mention. Something I mentioned a few shows back, and it is finally live. This is from Shocker Toys. This is a rare figure. This is a Shadowhawk in the black suit variant. For those of you that don't know, Shocker Toys was a company that made sort of indie comic action figures. And at some point, something happened where the guy who was Shocker Toys took a bunch of money and ran and didn't produce toys, that kind of thing. And it wasn't a Kickstarter, it was just his regular business. And that happens sometimes. If you don't sell enough or make enough dough, you will sometimes reach into the cookie jar of your business money to give yourself money, and then there's no money left over to pay the business bills. So this is an honorable mention. This is not one of the 10, just saying this thing is now live. $40. I happen to know that I will, of course, take less. I think I have it for best offer. If you've got the best offer, give me a shot. You'd be surprised. You could own yourself a Shadowhawk. All right, let's move on to our first item, and this is actually going to be two items that I'm counting as one because, they're kind of the same shtick. Fashion dolls. This is Monster High. This is new in the box. This is a Draculaura from their Boo York series, and I want to tell you guys, and this is not financial advice, amateur or professional, just an opinion. A great store of value happens to be these Monster High figures. They are constantly in demand. They sell real easy, and the price only goes up. And if you got them new in the box, it's a score. So first one is $50 for this Draculaura. The other one I have up, buy it now, $99. This is Jane the Boo Little Getaway Ghouls. This is a really weird, cool figure, new in the package. $100 for this, and I'm pretty sure it's only going to go up in value, but I need to pay for a Mad Hatter Toys flipper, and so someone's going to get a fashion doll. Okay, let's move on to item 9. If you want action figures, you got it. 2008 Marvel Doc Ock. This guy actually, he looks a little beat, but this guy actually has legs that when you squeeze them, the two little tentacles in the back, the clippy things, whatever these are, they do this. This is what goes on when you squeeze it. It's cool. It's interactive. It's like a kid's toy. Anyways, $12. He looks a little beat. I know, but that just means you can be rough with him. And he's a lot of fun. It's a cool looking guy. I don't know why the head's so flat on this dude, but whatever. All right, let's move on, shall we? Does anybody remember Playmobil? This is a ambulance that I have for sale, and actually this is the wrong picture I grabbed. This actually comes with all the accessories in bag. There's a little stretcher, and then there's a couple dudes, and then I got to put on the stretcher, and they've got some other little things, Ivy and stuff. Anyways, it's all included. The sirens actually flash. It's got 2 buttons, so I think it makes a noise as well. This dog, let me consult the notes. $23 is what we're going to be selling this for, which is not bad. And that includes the shipping, by the way. All this stuff, when I give you the price, shipping included. And I'm on the West Coast. If you're on the East Coast, it can be anywhere from $6 to $12 to get something to you. And so think about that. Work that into the prices, right? If I tell you something's $12 for Doc Ock, it's $6 to ship it. You know, not bad. It's technically kind of a $6 figure plus shipping. All right, here we go. Let's move on. Does anybody remember more Playmobil? This is the Ghostbusters Ecto-1, and I have the roof, which everyone loses. If you look on eBay for these things, you'll see these tough to get with the roof intact. I am missing a few little doodads off of it. There's about 4 or 5 pieces altogether, but let me tell you what makes this thing special. If you're into Mini-Mates, this thing is fantastic for them. Now, the doors don't open, which is a bummer. The back door does, but the top comes off, and you can put the Mini-Mates inside, and you can do photos. You can do action figure photography of this thing with Mini-Mates inside of it, the Ghostbusters ones, and it looks really cool. I happen to have picked up the Jada 1/24th Ghostbusters Ecto-1, and because it's die cast and it's glossy and it's brand new out of the box, it looks amazing. And I've been using that with my Mini-Mates, but this was the go-to beforehand. And so now that I've got the Jada, I'm going to get this one, selling this one off. $30, I think it's going to go fast. Moving on, this thing, what the hell is this? This is a Motorized Attack Robo Squad, or Mars. I don't know what that means. This is one of the harder ones to find. Anyways, this guy actually just kind of walks and he chugs along, and it's cool. It's animatronic, and if you're into doing little short movies where you have a weird kind of robot walking out, you might like one of these. You might dig this. So this guy is $20. Remember, take into account the shipping. It's brand new in the package. Package is a little worn. That's all the more incentive to break it apart and play with it. Let's move on. We've only got about 5 more to go. We're halfway through this, and you know, it's getting exciting. You guys are seeing some toys, some stuff you probably didn't even know existed. I don't think anyone knew about this. This is cool. These are going to be hard to find later. Model kits. I know it's not an action figure, but it's a toy, and some people are into these. They're 1/25th scale, which, you know, is about the Mini-Mate size, or Roblox, that kind of thing. Anyways, it's an old Revell wrench connection Austin gas coupe. And these are kind of cool. This has got pretty much most of the stuff. It's partially built. Someone tried building it and they gave up. They put the body together and they tapped out. But it looks like it's got most of the stuff. It's got the decals, it's got the manual, all that kind of shtick. Do I have a price for this dog? I think, oh yes, this guy we're starting it as auction. $20 opening bid. Includes the shipping. If you're the only bidder, you get it. You mention that you watch the show. You get a tchotchke, and this one's going to come with a very special tchotchke. Why? Because it's a Revell model kit. I've got other model kit stuff, and you're going to like what you see. Let's move on. Okay, this is going to be a tough sell, but let me explain what's going on. This is from Toy Story. This was in one of these Toy Story movies. It's the Claw game, and it had some toys in it, of course, and it's Toy Story. So, but what this is cool is if you're into action figure photography and you're trying to make like an arcade scene with some, you know, arcade games, stuff like that. This is a cool, especially for the 1/12 guys, this is a cool action figure arcade claw game that people could be playing. So, and then you can put whatever you want in it, or it could just sit on the shelf and you could throw whatever crap into it you want. I have another claw game that I just fill up with Playmobil people. Why? Because I have a bunch of them and they got to go somewhere. Okay, $30 on this, and that includes the shipping. This thing's heavy. It has sounds, and it has lights, and it works. The claw actually does this, so you can do little action figure movies with it. All right, 3 more to go. This one I reviewed a couple years ago, Thrift Store Rescue. This is pretty cool. It is a suit of samurai armor, and it's got a really elaborate, cool headdress. and basically it doesn't fit on an action figure. You set it up like it's in your parlor, like it's some sort of you know, ornamental piece of armor that you might display in your house, except it's like about 1/12 scale. Would be great for a 6-inch character. Kind of cool. You might want to get this from me. 40 bucks. These are hard to find. These are very hard to find. It's very hard to find them complete and very hard to find them that look cool, and this one looks particularly cool. Anyways, I will post a link to the original review of it, and you can check out some pics of it there, and I think you would like this. Okay. Last 2 items are super rare, hard to find, weird. Here we go. This thing. Anyone remember the company Leonard? Well, this is the line they did a little bit ago, over 10 years, maybe over 15, maybe close to 20 years. I feel like it was 2004 or 5-ish. So it's called Canine Core, and what it is there's like a mad scientist guy. That's this dude. He's a doctor, right? Even though he looks like he's got some kind of racing team jacket on. And what they do is they make these weird mutant dogmen. And next to him there is one of them. His name is Bulldozer, as in bulldog, Bulldozer. And no accessories with Bulldozer, but you can see that Dr. Davis Elliott there is still new in the package. Package is a little beat, but that's the way it goes. Sometimes there's a little bit of storage wear on this. Anyways, this is a extremely weird and hard to find thing. So we're starting off, I think, either 150 or 125 for this, but this is a best offers open, and I happen to know willing to take a bit less. Just make an offer. You'd be surprised. And of course, tchotchke. All right, last item, and you know, you always want to save the cool stuff for last. Have you ever seen these? Do you know what these are? Have you heard of these? Has anyone ever presented you with these before? Okay, this is Blue Box Incorporated Toys. This is the same people that make Cygirls. This came out when the Cygirls came out. Cygirls are 1/6 scale female space cops. One's a ninja. They also did a Cygirls comic book. They did a couple waves of Cygirls. These are the Cy Guys, except they're not called Cy Guys. They're called Cycom, because they are some type of android men. If you were to take off the hoods on the other guys, they've got these sort of weird kind of android metal looking faces. Anyways, these guys are some sort of futuristic space warrior ninja guys in the 1/6 scale. The dude all the way to the left, he has got a machine gun for an arm, which, you know, if you're going to combat, that's pretty handy. You don't have to pull out the gun, you are the gun. So that guy's cool. There's a couple pieces I'm missing from them. There's a little piece that connects in the back, and the middle guy that keeps the chest piece on. The guy all the way to the right, he's got that skirt on, and the skirt has come apart, and I've sort of tacked it back together. So these are not perfect, but we're not asking the full-blown value of these guys. We are doing $125 for all 3, free shipping. Of course, you know that the shipping on this would be a lot because these are 3 huge heavy slugs, and they're pretty cool looking. They're pretty wild, and you're not going to see anything like this out there for a long time. If you get these, I encourage you to get these because they need a home that can't stay here. So that is it for this April edition of Catch and Release, these 10+ items. I think there's some winners in here. I think there's probably a couple lemons as well, and I think there's a few that may be just a tad above market value, but they come down, people, trust me on this. So thank to everybody who made it this far into the show. Always appreciate people who watch to the very end. And of course, you know, everybody out there, stay charged.